Buy herO dinner, I'm sure. As we jump into this, our top right red Protoss play from Dragon Kaisi. This is herO. And in the bottom left, our blue Terran. This is going to be Shopify Rebellion's ByuN. hero's not happy he has to play ByuN. Well, I'm sure he isn't. But, you know, like I say, we would do this for anyone. You know, for us, getting an extra player involved that has a chance to compete. You know, I think in general it's just healthy for the tournament still, even if it is going to cause a, you know, crazy match in the early stages. So, yeah. I appreciate that this could have probably been the finals today, guys. It's just, it's not like we purposely put ByuN here either. It's just where ByuN slotted in as a replacement, so. And like I say, if the opponent of Lurker had shown up, then ByuN just wouldn't be in the tournament, so. This is not like targeted harassment on herO or anything like that. It's just a little unlucky for herO. Obviously, I mean, you could argue it's a little unlucky for ByuN that this was the only replacement spot. You know, if herO wins. Yeah, I mean, for us, we get a cool match out of it. Basically, we get some better content, so we'll just go with it. And if the players complain, like I said, I'll just take it on the chin. Yeah, $1,000 up for grabs. WardiTV points. First big monthly Open Cup for us. We'll have another one in May. The one in May will be after the ESL Masters season, so we'll be a bit further down the line in May. We've got so much going on, by the way, because after ESL Masters, there's another tournament coming up, which isn't announced yet, but it's going to be quite cool as well. So it's just busy, 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 man. So much going on. No bets, no wagers. Oh, okay. I will put a bet on right now. You guys can go wild. Appreciate the effort of me adding the bet on, guys. Don't forget to drop your Prime subs in the chat. And as a subscriber, you earn more points per hour in the channel. So you can bet even more in the future as well. Isn't that a great deal? Hell yeah. Something like that. Alright, Reaper is coming across the map on a journey out to the upper right-hand side. I'm moving toward our natural for just a few moments. On the side of herO, we see an Adept out, Stargate on the way. That's going to be his starting point here in these early stages. And we'll see where he goes off the Stargate. Obviously, Phoenix play, Colossi play, something that we see quite frequently out of herO. Doesn't have to be, though. herO also one of the players who will play the kind of the crazier styles, the more fragile styles like Oracle into Blink Stalkers. The sort of style that if it doesn't go exactly right for you, you can just end up in a lot of trouble very quickly. Guess we'll see what goes down as our Stargate finishes up to the top. Oracle going to begin chrono boosting out. A couple of Adepts begin to make their way just down to the front here. A couple of probes coming through. Starport going to be finishing. And yeah, our Adepts just head on down to the bottom left corner for the moment. Reaper is actually going to grab a probe as it gets into the natural, looking for another. Of course, one thing to note is that obviously herO has not had the prettiest of times against Terran players lately. His PvT has struggled in recent. I mean, he looked, the last PvT I saw of him playing against Bunny and Games Without Borders looked amazing. But he really got a little bit kind of manhandled by the Terrans in a lot of the other matches he played in that event. And matches leading up to that event as well, he has just not been quite as on point as you would kind of expect someone like herO to be in kind of every matchup, right? You know, I'm not used to having herO having like a weaker matchup or anything of the sort, so that's definitely kind of interesting. Yo, Duddles, thank you so much for the 73-month resub, mate. Welcome back, good to see you. Thanks so much for the big resub, appreciate it. Alien works his way up the side. The couple of Oracles will continue through. The Raven is about halfway done. And our Siege Tank, 2 more Marines, all of that still producing as well. So a couple more Marines popping out. A couple SCVs, tank, all this on the way. The Adepts get that to deal with. The Hellion pushing that back immediately. Triple Oracle making its way through the top, then seeing where it can get to. We'll have just our Hellion holding out just on the front here, and the Oracles still working their way around that left side. Away we go as we drop an Engineering Bay into the natural as well. Our Raven, Marine, Cyclone, all of this joining together. And our Twilight Council just building alongside a Forge now too, so Twilight and Forge both on the way. Nexus just passing that halfway marker. 2 Stalkers and a Sentry. Gonna grab the Hellion as well. And an extra Stalker just warping in as well. Yo! Anonymous Gifter. Gifting 10 subs out and about in the chat. Thank you so very much for the 10 gifted subs. Get some love in the chat, please, for Mr. Anonymous. Going out to Nadam, KKOK 000, Focus Pendulum, Droopy FL, Noah's SX, Marines, getting zapped by those oracles. Just wanted to mention that for a moment. Dual cast up. Oh my god, the Adept Shading as well. I don't know if I agree with that. Tackle Stuff, David Reinfurt, Lord Riverland, and CQ123454321. Thank you so much for the generosity, Mr. Anonymous or Mrs. Anonymous or whoever Anonymous. Appreciate the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 6 ICVs go down, then a few Marines as well. The Adepts diving in. I mean, it wasn't a lot of Adepts to lose, and so far herO has traded effectively. The Oracle's going to try and make a dive out right now, and seems like that will be fairly successful. Oh, we did lose one, though, just at the end. So we do lose one. It felt like initially there may not have been the DPS there to take one down, but obviously there was enough at the end. So herO putting himself into a pretty great position. I mean, there was definitely moments where I was like, is this enough? And he's kind of diving toward Marines with Oracles and so on, but yeah, he got damage done, and ByuN is behind heavily now. ByuN's army supply is very good, and ByuN might be looking to make this work by going across the map very shortly here. Get across the map now could be his opportunity. We'll see. He's going to be up against Charge soon. He will have +1 in his favor because the +1 armor I don't think will be finished for the Protoss unless we have some Chrono Boost on that to help even things out. Obviously, Oracles coming across the map. They're going to activate and just look as though they're going to pick off some reinforcements as they spawn and so on. So the Oracles actually going to go after the reactor. I was going to say, it was kind of a weird place to activate. Didn't see what they activated on, but going for the reactor on the factory, slow down some mine production. Well, if you're going to rely on, you know, charge lots and so on, then reacted mines are absolutely one of the things that can just chew those charge lots up, right? So, out against that as our Bioforce comes around, as Eld will come charging through here. Actually, Interference Matrix on the Archon. Good force fields. Find a lot of time. Oh, that was an unfortunate. Widowmine reaches across and goes into the center of the Zealots. herO's buying time. Obviously, he will be without the super battery in a few moments. Loses this Oracle in the tail end. Yeah, you feel obviously without the super battery, it's a bit dangerous, but I think he's held on long enough, and he's seen his upgrades finish up here and everything else starting to really come into play. I feel like this is starting to look absolutely okay for him now. Force back at the top, just going to go after that pylon. It will go down, so pylon will be killed. A Medivac load up again, going to go jump across toward the natural. Sorry, toward the main. Not going to get in there. A little Zealot counterattack. Well, quite a sizable Zealot counterattack. Really finds nothing as ByuN doesn't have a third in location and just has to hold on a little bit. Rest of our bio through the top side. We do have our +1 armor coming in, the blink and the +2 coming up as well. Immortal on the way in, Widow Mines on the way out, a couple extra barracks coming through too. This Bioforce of ByuN heading to the upper right hand side. We do have Stalkers, Zealots, and Archon. And your missile could be big. Actually does land on pretty much everything. We got something important here with the High Templar. We hit the feedback on the Raven, which is obviously nice, but man, there's just not enough here from herO. He's kind of getting overwhelmed. The Zealots from the other side are just so late to this party. I mean, they show up on a good angle. They get rid of the tanks, right? But, I mean, too little, too late. And even the Widowmine shot as well is obviously not going to be pretty. Probes are going to pull as herO will try and get some additional warpins, but this is not looking ideal. This is really looking as though ByuN might just have a bit too much for game number 1. Just continue to push in. Pylon will be taken down. Nexus will begin to take some shots as well. Then we will just see our +2 armor about to finish. Immortal still on the way up. Our cannon taking a bit more damage too. Nexus also going down. And Gateway also being picked away at. Obviously here just losing out on everything, and at this point you're down 60 army supplies, so going to be tough to bounce back in this work in this one. ByuN. Very powerful on these pushes, man. Just herO unable to really amass enough stuff to kind of keep Keep this Terran army at bay. I mean, that's always the weakest part of this, right? Oracles into some kind of blink. You know, just what else do you what do you really have to show for yourself a lot of the time? It's tough, man. It is tough. Zealots charging forward here. Wouldn't might as well go after a bunch of those Zealots as well. Immortals firing. Archon gets shot down by the Liberator. The rest of these Stalkers getting nuked. And as we dive further in, and our probe's going down. It's going to be GG. ByuN is going to take game 1 of our best of 3. As we have in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Protoss from Dragon, Kaisi Gaming. It is down a map, but looking to fight back. herO. Top left, our blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion up 1. It is ByuN. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream today as well. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day, having a good week of StarCraft so far. Obviously, we're here yesterday for the Spring Fling opening day. He had a day for our, first monthly cup with this $1,000 prize pool. So that's obviously awesome to have. Very excited about this. I love the fact that we can put on just a big event once a month in this kind of form. That's super awesome in my eyes, so yeah, big fan of that. Loving it. Got a Cybercore over to the side by the... Sorry, it will be a Cybercore. He did queue up a gateway there for a moment, though. I was like, wait, what? I was like ready to just, mindlessly say Cybercore, and it's like, but it's a gateway, what? What's happening? What's going on? Yeah, a little strange for a couple of moments. Not as big as a deal as our Nexus goes down in the natural. Cybercore about halfway done. Zealot is about to finish. And that pylon just coming up on the natural as well. So getting that underway. The command center coming up. Orbital command about to finish up as well. And that factory now producing on the side of ByuN. Zealot heads down to the south. Still seeing the Stargate on the way in. Nexus coming up to completion. Step coming out. We do have our reactor finishing up on the barracks and our factory finishing too. As one Marine starts to kite back against this Zealot. Zealot going to aim for the SCV. Marine doing a decent little job putting some damage onto this, and now the Marine has to run away. We're waiting on that Hellion will be the real savior of this, although we have a second unit coming from herO as well, so pressure really is ramping up early. We lose the SCV. Command Center a moment from finishing. Obviously the Adept is about to get here. The SCV will just dive down if you need to. It can jump into the CC to stay safe, but yeah, with the Hellion and a couple more Marines, this should be pretty reasonable. Zealots look so menacing without charge. I think it's just a single Zealot. If you have 5 Zealots without charge, they don't look that menacing. I think it's a single Zealot. Early in the game looks extremely menacing because you know just how much it can do. Marines will get rid of this Zealot here quickly. The Adepts are shading forward, which means they can't shade out of trouble. As the Hellion tries to get the final shot, it's not good enough just yet. We will try and threaten that once again, but no luck so far. And the Adepts obviously shouldn't commit onto this here, as we swore we do. So we go for the Hellion kill. That's going to cost you both Adepts, question mark? No, one of them does get away, so only one of the Adepts going down. Super low HP, though, this Adept. It's not going to be super useful for a while. Phoenix just cruising out of the Stargate as herO. Sets up to be very well defended against anything that ByuN sends his way. Medevac heading toward the main for a moment, about to arrive. And it's going to come back through. Medevac taking some damage. Marines unloading. Phoenix picking up a few Marines. Just getting rid of all of these. That's a pretty good defense. Obviously, Phoenix are very good defensively early in the game. Do we have the lift to get the Cyclone kill? Looks Looks like we're just going to dive through for the medevac. He'll have to turn to get it, but it costs him a Phoenix, so it doesn't come freely. And maybe herO arguably could have sent that hurt Phoenix away to the side along with the one that was locked onto by the Cyclone. Just a bit too much to micro all at once there, apparently, and he does end up losing out, unfortunately. ByuN moves on to the map again with just a few Marines, a Cyclone as well, try to see what we can do. The few Phoenix off to the top. And we'll try and loop around, a chance to perhaps come lift off the Cyclone and a few other Marines as well. Raven finishing shortly. Just going to see the Mirror Phoenix going to dive straight on this. It does at least cost you a Phoenix, so ByuN gets something out of that Raven kill. Not ideal though. I mean, the Raven is something you really want to try and keep alive. There's a reason you build it in the first place. You don't just build it as Phoenix bait, right? It's a very expensive way to bait a Phoenix through, so... Yeah, obviously herO loves to shut that down early, though, because the power of a Raven as it gets more energy is quite concerning in the PvT matchup, so it is something to just get ahead of early on, more or less. Yo, Roddy, what's up with the raid? Welcome, everybody, from the Roddy stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Good to see you all. Welcome. This is herO ByuN, early rounds of our WardiTV $1,000 monthly Open Cup for the month of April. So welcome. Hope you guys are doing well, and yeah, we are into action here. ByuN has a low seed today because he forgot to check in, and he actually just replaced the only no-show we had, which was the match that led into versus herO in the second round. So we kind of get a banger of a series early, and that's just kind of what happened there. Usually we do try and seed our events properly, so that's what's going on. We do have the Marines and the Cyclone and everything setting up. We actually have a new Raven as well, so he built a second one. That's 200 additional gas. That does slow down medevac production, for example, so it comes at a cost. And yes, okay, the Raven, very valuable, probably something you do want to add in here, but like I say, I mean, it's still an investment, and it does slow other things down. And I mean, obviously the question just is it worthwhile? And yeah, honestly, yeah. I think so. Ravens are almost always good in the, at least to have one spell casting into the middle of this game. I think it's always good to have one, although herO coming through again and getting a whole chunk of SCVs. ByuN's really being bullied this game. As he pushes across the map, he has a very low worker count and would really like to find some amount of damage to help up for a little bit. Raven 200 gas, yes. Raven doesn't cost 200 gas anymore, I'm sorry. Years upon years of saying Raven costs 200 gas is still ingrained in me. I know, it's 150, right? I know. It is 150 though, right? Now I'm second guessing myself a second time. As you see that ByuN coming forward. Oh, that Colossus in an ugly position, just walking down the ramp at a bad time, and obviously ByuN distracting toward the main base. That's where herO looked at. I'm just going to be seeing the other Marines turn around now. Phoenix going after the medevac for just a few moments. And get the Colossus taking a few more shots, the Marine going down, and we do have the rest of our ByuN from the bottom left-hand side just joining back up to this main chunk of units. Plus one attack is on the way. Force fields are good. I mean, again, ByuN's quite desperate to deal damage here, hence the constant hounding pressure. He has a third base behind this. I mean, denying the first Colossus was actually a really big deal, because it really slows the splash damage buildup from herO, and it's probably the one thing that's kept ByuN trading at all. Right now, though, you can see herO chasing, and this army's great at chasing because the Phoenix can lift, the Phoenix can get the medevacs too. That's almost always a good thing, and as you see each and every medevac dropping, this is expensive for ByuN, and really starts to head into toward a game 3 of this one. A few more gateways just going down, Colossus still producing. ByuN splitting out once more, and a few more Phoenix still joining up, coming across the left-hand side. Medevac's taking some damage, a Viking getting some shots off. Phoenix do have to take a bit of a turn away. That's 2 Widow Mines, man. What? It looked like he was almost trying to bait them, but then kept everything stacked up. That made no sense. Okay, that was a little bit strange. Anyways, tell you what, herO on the back end of this, I thought he was going to have a good push across the map and everything, but you know, his work account maybe isn't as hot as it could be. His fourth base obviously delayed by this pressure of ByuN. You know, ByuN has caught up work-wise, and I guess herO still has all of the tech in the world. He has the claw sign, now he's making disruptors. You see the prison moving out to start harassing as well. Course, the Marine's going to begin to rumble down the ramp, and the Phoenix still just on a bit of a patrol scan coming out as well, just to see what's up and what's going on. One Zealot up the right-hand side. Again, a few more Ghosts, Marines, all producing for the moment. Armory also being brought into play. Phoenix just keep on rotating, man, just chilling at the front. Do you have the blink? About halfway done. Disruptor still producing. Obviously, herO taking a few moments, just let a lot of this tech finish up, including his +2 attack upgrades. There's 1-1 in play from ByuN, but no armory yet, so he can't start his own 2-2. So that's something that's slowing him down and holding him off here as well. A chunk of Zealots warping into this main base. There's a few units nearby. We actually have the engineering base being attacked. The Widow Mines actually didn't burrow up yet, so if they go down, that's a shame. The MP lands, but there's the push at the front at the same time. The High Templar going for the feedback. Well, they just kind of wandered a bit too far forward. Disruptor from afar is just from too far. I'm actually going to lose that Disruptor as well. Messy from herO, who's currently still not doing as much as I maybe like in the main base. The whole positioning and SCVs in general just derping the Zealots out a little bit. I'm going to finish off the engineering bay. He does get the armory freshly built as well, so that goes a chance of further upgrades. So herO doing what he can to slow ByuN here, which is not a bad approach. More SCVs going down too. herO did take big steps back with the main army, though. Stopped pressuring at the front as he felt like that was maybe not turning out to be worthwhile, all said and done. A couple Vikings now come through. The Phoenix taking some shots. 18 SCVs being killed. I mean, that part of it's very good, obviously. herO putting a big dent in the economy of ByuN. Want to make it difficult for ByuN to just, you know, keep on rebuilding and keep on attacking across the map again and again and again. The Medivacs all loading up, and they're going to go for a boost forward here. Phoenix will chase. Stalkers looking to intercept, and we are going to have one Medivac at least having no chance to unload. No, two Medivacs go down with no units coming out. A little bit of a recall coming across. Uh-oh. I was going to say, we're recalling away from this position, which is, you know, ByuN's about to jump on. This is turning into a little bit of a mess as herO tries to deal with this. His fifth base, as you can see, in trouble. He will fully clean up the main without really taking much damage. Super Battery was expended here, though. So that's a Super Battery you now don't have to help you elsewhere. And actually, he didn't finish cleaning up before he pulled the units away. And ByuN is still getting some damage done. herO making mistakes over in this main base. And honestly, I think quite flustered by this set of attacks that ByuN is bringing. It's quite obvious that herO is not quite doing things as brilliantly as herO usually does. It does feel like I say, flustered I think is a good word for it. Like he's losing track of everything that's going on at the moment. I mean, there was just no reason for those units to pull out of the main base before the cleanup was completed, right? Of course, ByuN pretty committed. No 2-2. That armory was denied. It's just now finishing rebuilding. You also don't see ByuN on a fourth base, so he's still only on the 3. Looks like he's sending an SCV to build the fourth on location as he runs around. This is a dangerous situation because herO also has to defend the potential jump into the main, which is exactly what ByuN sets up to go for. There's nothing in the main base to start out with. The Phoenix can start chipping down the Medivacs. That won't do much. ByuN did lose everything on the low ground. But now the question is going to be, well, does that matter? You know, how well can we do in this main base? First Colossus goes down. Second Colossus goes down. Again, just chaotic as herO getting a bit ahead of himself with those tech units. Walking up that ledge, maybe believing there'll be enough. Disruptor shot will force the lift. Do we have any amount of stalkers to blink on this? Well, we had a couple, but they didn't go for the blink. I'm actually going to go diving back toward the main base as we seem to believe that we cannot escape. So, feels like the best possible damage is over here. We are just going to drop one more time. It does look as though ByuN's going to lose everything in this, and it feels like herO is going to have himself a game 2 of this series, as ByuN will not have enough to hold on, and herO ties it 1-1, and we are going to game indeed, but that's crazy. All right, so this tournament in general as well, that last game got a bit crazy. That result is crazy. Okay, you know, everyone's here to play today apparently. As we hop into the top left corner, the red Protoss from Dragon, Kaizy Gaming, make some StarCraft 2 Twitch chat noise for herO. In the bottom right-hand corner from the Shopify Rebellion, Blue Terran, ByuN. So I'll keep you guys up to date on any other results coming through on the bracket. Obviously, you guys can ! Group B to check the bracket at any point. I'll keep you guys up to date. Apparently, Christiana and Gerald either didn't report their result or are playing the match of a lifetime at the moment. They've been in game for a long time. So, yeah, a lot going on over there. And maybe we jump into like the solo versus Skiller / Halston quarterfinal after this. Or Clem versus Ragnarok are nice. Yeah, got some cool matches coming, guys. That is for certain, as we do get ourselves up and rolling into this game 3. Let's have an investigation as to what is going on. We'll drop a second gate again. There's something about this, right? Like, he lines up the second gate, doesn't obviously let it go through, and just builds the cybercore. I wonder if he's, like, checking his wall before he puts the cybercore down. You know, we constantly mention that herO is one of these players who has actually had trouble with his walls. And we've actually seen that fairly recently too, where there has been like trouble with walling off. He has let units in where maybe you shouldn't let units in and everything and whatever else. And I actually wonder if what he's doing is he's saying, right, I'm sick of this being the case, so I'm going to build the gateway to check it would be a wall when my probe's walking over. And then obviously I just take the probe and I don't build the gateway and I build the cybercore, because then I know I can put my cybercore straight away down without having to take the half second to check so it doesn't delay the cybercore. I wonder if that's actually the case there. So just measuring out the spacing of the buildings and checking he's actually going to wall himself in. I haven't really noticed that before from herO, but maybe it is just a herO thing. Like I say, his walls have definitely been not the best lately. He was the other day against Bunny in the Games Without Borders, that little hop on in with the Reaper. That was kind of funny too. Very fun. Hellion, a couple of Reapers continuing around. A couple more Reapers on the way up, and we do have our Warp Gate building as well. Adept's going to be finishing shortly. A couple more probes. Again, the Stargate about to finish on the side of herO. Old carpenters saying measure twice, warp in once. I like that. Alright, 4 Reapers, 2 Hellions. Very aggressive starting point here from ByuN, as those Adepts, don't think they would have seen those units with the Shade. Shade vision isn't that high. They're not going to start flying to the front. The Hellions taking the damage, letting the Reapers really kind of deal damage safely from behind. Here's the first Phoenix to lift up one of the units, take the DPS down a little bit. Obviously, Hellion now will be very useful against these probes. The Reaper gets dropped back down. Now the Phoenix ain't so useful. For an aid to try and free the Reaper, but it wasn't in time. A new Adept showing up, and apparently that's all ByuN one. 6 probes is very good early damage. See our Adept trying to fight the Reapers. A couple of Reapers turning back around. Adept getting chased. Gonna grab 1 probe already. Gonna add a second. We now have a 3rd one. Still gonna be getting picked off, and a 4th. Oh my god. This is some insane early game damage. Like, yeah, it's a unit commitment from ByuN, but he has found everything he wanted and more. And if he keeps 1 Reaper alive, which he shouldn't be able to, because obviously this Adept can shade onto it, unless the Reaper did manage to micro for the kill there. Alright, well, I mean, charge on the way up, couple more probes. Cyclone, Viking. All that in production here. And this is just horrible start from here. There's not really much else to say about it. I'm trying to think what we could really really mention, but yeah, there ain't really a lot to say. At the end of the day, Viking is going to land over in the corner. A couple of probes going to return to the assimilators, and Viking will start to hit some probes. Man, this is just a probe. Like, Protoss players, you should have closed your eyes for this one, because it's not pretty. 7 more probes. But now a grand... Oh my god. Oh, okay. Wouldn't mind actually does go off on all the Marines, which probably doesn't make a difference. When the Phoenix lift, they're going to do, pretty much instant kills anyway with the numbers there are, but yeah, okay. This wasn't really much of a game 3, guys. Let's just be real right there. This game 3 really kind of came through pretty quickly, as we do have Phoenix lifting up a Cyclone, a few extra Marines going down. This should be the end of this, as ByuN is finally pushed back, but herO just took so much damage. Jeez. Phoenix on the counter-attack. Well, what can they really do? There's limited options, quite frankly, and I don't see them being all that successful. Missile turret comes up to help us to dissuade the Phoenix from coming in, and yeah, I mean, not really meant to do well at this stage as herO. Sad but true situation. A lot of depths coming by once again. So we have our couple of water mines burrowing up next to that bunker. We're warping in more Zealots. hero's just about to pull the trigger and go, which, to be fair, probably the best thing you can do. I love the Widow Mine Unburrow in some ways. I guess it just allows the Phoenix to lift them up, but I guess that keeps the Phoenix busy at least. The bunker's not going to die, and even if you bypass the bunker to some extent, does that really matter? All these units are just dying in the background. GG's from herO, and that is going to be ByuN taking the 2-1 victory and advancing through to the next round of our monthly Open Cup.